When Muhammadu Buhari became Nigeria's new president in May, he promised to crush the Islamist militant group Boko Haram by the end of this year. But the attacks continue, including Monday's deadly suicide bombings on a busy market. The group's 6-year insurgency has led to more than 17,000 deaths and 2 million people being displaced, mostly in the northeast of Nigeria. BBC House's Jimeh has returned to his hometown of Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, where he was granted exclusive access to travel with the army. And during this conflict, he is the only journalist to have been taken to Boko Haram's stronghold in the Sambisa forest. I'll speak to Jimeh live in just a moment. First, here's his report.
A tense morning in Borno after several attacks overnight. We are on board our military convoy, leaving behind the relative safety of my childhood home, the state capital Maiduguri, and heading towards the militants. Our goal is to reach the Sambisa forest, the heart of the Boko Haram insurgency. When I was reporting from here in 2013, Boko Haram had a firm grip on the northeast. The nature of the conflict has now changed. The group has been pushed out of towns and villages they once controlled. They no longer have the means to launch conventional attacks and rely on IEDs and suicide bombers. This was Kondiga, once a busy market town, now utterly devastated. Last year, my neighbors here were attacked over and over, more than 20 times, until those who survived fled for their lives. We wanted to talk to some residents about their experiences, but there is no one left. Next stop, the army base built on the main road to Maiduguri. It is protected on all fronts. Even here, there is no room for complacency. The compound has been attacked several times, and these soldiers have buried many of their colleagues. As the troops prepare to return to the front line, one of the lieutenants tells me the end is in sight.
We're in the last lap right now because we have moved them to a position where they are being caged. So what is remaining is one last offensive, and we're there.
But even if that's the case, it won't be an easy offensive. Behind the barracks, far in the distance, Sambisa Forest. It was once a popular game park. It is vast, over 60,000 square kilometers. But it is a difficult terrain with no roads. It is also flanked by shallow water, making it harder to attack and impossible for us to access. Back on the road, and within half an hour, we arrive in the town of Kauri, once again eerily empty. Kauri, though, isn't just any town. It was battered to the ground by the insurgents because of its strategic position. This is the main sign for Sambisa Forest in Kauri village in Borno State. The village was occupied by Boko Haram last year, and what is left of it now is sheer destruction. You can see tags of Boko Haram all over Kauri. This is the main road leading to Sambisa Forest. The forest is 7 kilometers down this road, but it is very dangerous. We can't access it because there are mines and explosives all over. And the army tells us Boko Haram fighters are just 20 kilometers from where we're standing right now in Kauri. Determined to get to the forest, we try another route. The troops bring us here, once a home away from home for many of these soldiers. This camp had to be hastily destroyed once it was no longer needed to prevent the insurgents moving in from here. Finally, we were in Sambisa, silent but rotten inside. The army keeps a lookout while we do our work. Boko Haram is the world's deadliest militant organization. But before long, there's movement on the horizon. Boko Haram is close. Without warning, we are told to leave. We've been at the Sambisa forest for about an hour filming, but just when we wanted to do a piece to camera, the army said we had to quickly leave because they sensed some movement, and it was like an attack was about to be launched, so we are now in out of Sambisa forest?
Fear. It is something the people of Borno State live with every day. The army, though, has made progress. They have won several huge battles, but they are yet to win the war.